guess what? Guess what? We've qualified for Europe. We've qualified for Europe next year. All season we've been in the running, but all season I've been thinking we're not going to do it. I don't think we're going to do it. We're going to drop off. I've been waiting for the inevitable drop off, and it hasn't happened. We've now qualified for Europe. Let me show you. So going into the final day of the season, this is where we find ourselves. We are currently sitting 6th position with Europa League football. As already mentioned, Europa League football is guaranteed for next year. We can't drop any lower than 6th. It looks like it's likely to be Sevilla that will be playing in the Europa Conference League. But there is, as you will see, a very, very slight chance that we might just qualify for the Champions League. It is only very slight. We are hoping. We do require Atletico Madrid and Real Betis to both lose. Now, don't get me wrong, Real Betis have got a hard away day at Athletic Club at Bilbao. That's not going to be easy for them to get a result there. Whilst Atletico Madrid will host Osasuna. Now, obviously, they're down in 13th. It's a team that we've struggled against this year, but it's certainly a team that Atletico will be expecting to beat on the last day of the season to secure that last Champions League spot. However, like I said, there's an outside chance. If we can beat Elche and those two lose, then we will nick 4th place and Champions League football will be ours next season. To come into the final day and even have this chance, I did not expect it. Like, complete shock that we're even in this situation. Don't get me wrong, I am more than happy with Europa League. Take it all day long. Hugely overachieved all season. And if we get Champions League, it's just a bonus. But I'm certainly not going to be disappointed if we don't. With regards to Elche, it's not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. So this is a team with the best defensive record in the league. So Elche have, so far this season, when I say best defensive record, they've certainly have over the last few games. So they have one of the best defensive records, certainly outside of the top 4. They have the best defensive record. They easily have the best defensive record of anyone in the bottom half of the table. Their biggest issue this year has been scoring goals. They just don't score. But they only concede an average of 1 per game. And if we look at their most recent schedule, we can see that teams are finding it extremely tough to score against Elche. They have kept 6 clean sheets in their last 8 games, 8 clean sheets in their last 11. So they are going to be extremely tough for us to break down. We only managed a 0-0 draw last time we played them. So we couldn't find a way through, even though we were the more dominant of the two sides. But yeah, our forward players were just cancelled out of the game. It's a weird one because when you check Elche out and when you actually look at their team, you'd expect with that sort of defensive record for their centre-backs, their defenders, to have really good average ratings across this season. And they really don't. The 2 centre-backs that have played most of their games are averaging around the 6.7, 6.8 mark. The left back there, 6.75. So the defence is, and even the defensive midfielders, it's a really odd one. I can't actually get my head around how they can be so good defensively, but their defenders don't score high ratings in games. So it's really strange. Maybe it's just because they're not winning games, so their average rating isn't bumping up. But I kind of feel that these average ratings are not giving these defenders the credit that they probably deserve. So that's where we're at the last day of the season. There has been a few bits happening since you was last here. So how did we get here? As you know, I left you with a really hard run of games after that 1-1 draw against Getafe, and we went on and we actually followed that up with a really, really good result at home to Real Madrid. We were heavily under it for most of the game. They had 25 shots. Possession was relatively even, but after them going 2-0 up through a Karim Benzema double inside the opening 30 minutes, inside the opening half an hour, we actually came back. Yusuf and Makoko was awesome in the second half. We came back, pulled it back to 2-2. Rudiger then put Madrid back in front, but only for the sake of 2 minutes before Moukoko got us back level again. And we held on at the end, despite increased pressure from Real, who coming into this game, by the way, were on a 12-match winning streak. They hadn't even drawn a game for 12 games. And we somehow managed to hold them to a point. Massive, massive achievement. Really good confidence booster for the boys. And yeah, really pleased. I mean, that goal there from Moukoko, I mean, that is going well outside of the post at that point and somehow curls back in. The youngster that come in January has turned out to be an absolute revelation for us and has certainly been a huge part of our sort of out keeping in those European spots throughout the second half of the season. Granted, we were there already when he joined the club, but he's certainly been a huge contributing factor to the fact that we've actually stayed there. We followed that up with a 1-1 draw against Real Sociedad, and then probably the result of the season. Home to Sevilla. I think at the time it was I think we were 5th and they were 7th. Yeah, if they'd have beaten us, they would have come within about 3 points of us. It would have put us then in a position. So it was a massive game for both sides. But the first 34 minutes, we were 5-0 up. And I was just sitting here gobsmacked. I mean, if we'd have actually played that game together on an episode, which I really wish we had now, you would have got no commentary from me. Because I was literally just... It was like that throughout the whole thing. I was just gobsmacked. No words could speak. 34 minutes in, 5-0. I was just this is unbelievable. Without a doubt, our best first half, well, our best any half performance of the whole campaign. Some good goals were scored. This one here from Zaldo, a really nice shot with the outside of it, really powerful. Gets a deflection which takes it past the goalie, but I'm pretty convinced with the power and the direction of that shot, it would have gone in anyway. Conceição then set up Moukoko for a nice little headed effort on 29 minutes to put us 3-0 in front. It was 4-0 within another couple of minutes, and this time it was again Conceição in from the right, Moukoko with a swiftly timed shot into the bottom right hand corner, and yeah, it was 5-0 just a couple of minutes later again, and it was just. Sevilla were blown away. Sabrino that time with the powerful effort that beats the keeper at the near post. So it was just incredible. I mean, Sevilla got one from a set piece late on as a consolation, but the game was done and dusted by then, and we were just absolutely unreal. A 3-0 defeat to Barcelona followed, hugely outclassed, not really in the game, yeah, but we followed that up with 2-1 victory over Villarreal. And people can't say it weren't well deserved. We matched them in every aspect of the game. Villarreal will be playing Champions League football next year. They've had a great season in terms of whether they're third at the moment. They're going to finish third. They can't be caught. They can't catch second. It's been a good season for them. They were media predicted 5th. But they have overachieved slightly. And then our most recent game was against bottom side at Real Valladolid, where we managed to absolutely pummel them on the stats. Conceded a couple of goals, which was a little bit disappointing. To be fair, it was disappointing to concede those goals. But there was in this game, it was in the end it was won by an unbelievable free kick. From Conceição, the 19-year-old winger that's on loan from Ajax, who again has had a really good second half to the season since he joined us in January. He's been a really good addition to the squad, the youngster, and it was his free kick that eventually sealed all 3 points. It was Moukoko that had us in front very early, just 15 seconds on the clock as we scored straight from the kickoff. We were 2-0 up inside the half an hour mark, and again it was Conceição there with a nice, powerful, low-footed shot into the bottom left corner. Keeper no chance, just real good placement with power there. Valladolid got one back, and then came the free kick, and there's that awesome free kick from Conceição, beautifully flighted over the wall into the top corner, keeper no chance. Game wrapped up. Valladolid did put us under a little bit of pressure for the last few minutes with a second goal through Sergi Guardiola, but they couldn't get back on terms, and and it was a good win. So that's how we got to where we are. That's what's been happening. In other news, there is no more Guardiola and Manchester City. So Pep has actually handed it in. He didn't get the sack. He's actually resigned from his position. So Pep's currently unemployed after conceding the title to Liverpool this year over in England. So Liverpool have won the league by 7 points from Man City, who were then miles ahead of the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal, who fill the Champions League places over in England. But yeah, so Pep, it'll be interesting to see where he pops up. Will he return to Spain? Will I be up against the main man next year? It remains to be seen. There has been some player news as well, little player updates since Alex Fernandez, who has been awesome for us this year, with 9 goals and 9 assists already in all competitions. People were starting to sniff around him. He was getting attracting interest from the likes of Everton, and I really needed to tie him up. I wanted to get him tied down to another deal for a couple more years, and I'm really pleased to say that he has signed on for another contract on 22k a week. Gives him a significant pay rise. Prior to that, he was only on, I think, 14. So we've almost doubled his wages to keep him here, but he proved well worth it. And as well, we've tied him down to that minimum fee release clause as well, £30 million. So if the likes of Everton do want to come calling this summer, at least we will bag a good return for a player that's been absolutely key for us. There is no doubt about it. He has been a first team regular, a key player, a main part of our success. So I'm really pleased to have him tied down. On the flip side, though, a little bit of bad news, I guess. Jose Marie will leave the club this summer. Well, I say leave the club, he's retiring altogether. So he's not necessarily leaving us as such. But yeah, he'll be leaving the club. He's decided to hang up his boots. I mean, in all fairness to him, Jose Marie is now 35 years old. But he's still been a top performer for us this year. He's played 30 games, 1 goal, 6 assists, a 7.18 average rating in the league. He's been a key part. I hadn't yet offered him another contract, so probably from in that respect, maybe it's my fault. He's sort of decided I'm going to go. He doesn't seem to want to keep me. I was considering asking him to reconsider retirement, but I thought, look, 35, he's going to be 36 next year. I should hopefully be able to strengthen in the central midfield position this summer. So I decided to just let him have his moment, and he'll no longer be here going into next season. I'll try and give him some game time certainly on the last day of the season as a last hurrah and a chance to say goodbye to the fans, because he absolutely deserves it. Before we turn our attentions back to that last game of the season that we're about to play in a minute, it's worth noting that even going into that game, even if we don't pick up any points, we have already recorded the club's best ever La Liga finish. The not so special one is here, cementing his position in the club's legacy. First season in charge, and we've got Cadizzy's best ever league finish. So fantastic achievement there. Really, really pleased with that. And just sort of to back up how much of an achievement that is, if we sort of look at some of the league stats this year, transfer spend in La Liga, we're certainly not right up there. We're nowhere near right up there in net transfer spend. We're down in 12th, so this is obviously profit. So Valencia have actually had a good season and made £26 million. Real Sociedad have made 21 million. We made a net profit of 336k, so we're in the positive. We haven't gone out and spent stupid amounts of money to improve our squad, so we've done it mostly with who was already here. So yeah, it's just testament to how well we have done this season. In terms of wages to turnover ratio in the league, again, we're bottom of that table, which is where you want to be from our perspective. Well, I say it doesn't really matter. When I say it's where you want to be, it just shows that we are running our club in the right way. We are only using 25% of our annual turnover on wages. It's about the long-term sustainability of the club, the long-term growth of the club. And I'm sure this percentage will go up at some point. But when you look at the likes of Getafe and you think, 75% of the money they bring in is going straight back out on wages, without all the other costs involved in running a football club. that surely in the long term cannot be sustainable for any football club to be spending that proportion of your income on wages. But yeah, with regards to us, 25%, I'm happy with that. I expect it to go up slightly as we become a bigger club. But yeah, definitely, again, just a real positive in the way that this football club is being run. And the way that we're running the football club and the achievements that we're making, it's keeping everyone happy. The board are happy. We've hit the schedule 3 years ahead of target to record a La Liga top half finished. We're already there, well ahead of schedule. It'll be interesting to see what the board do this summer and how they change their expectations, what they want from me next season. Are they going to look at this and say, yes, it was a massive overachievement, and be realistic, or are they going to expect a lot more? That remains to be seen in the summer, and we'll look forward to sitting down and having that chat with the board. But right now, we are going to turn our attention completely back to that last game of the season against Elche. Like I said, very, very slim chances of Champions League qualification. But at least the last game does mean something. It's not just a dead game. So this is the lineup. This is how we're lining up for this one. Youssouf Moukoko, this could be the last time he plays for the club. And again, look at that form. 10 appearances, 10 starts, 6 sub-appearances, 11 goals and 1 assist. What an impact the youngster has had. And if I could keep him on loan for another season next year, I would love to. But whether Dortmund are going to send him here or whether they're going to give him a chance in their own first team remains to be seen. But we'll certainly be looking into that possibility. Like I said, Jose Marie, he's bowing out. This is his last appearance, retiring from football. It's going to be an emotional day for him. Been a great servant to the club. He's into his 7th season, just finished his 7th season with us. Fully deserves the applause that he should get from our fans today in his final bow. Other than that, it's pretty much a constant as it has been. I'm not taking any risks. I am playing a strong team for today's game as we look to obviously go out on a high. Even if we don't nab that Champions League place, which I certainly don't expect us to, let's just hope that we can at least give the fans a good day out on the last day, and that's what I'm going to say. Go and give the fans appropriate send-off for all the support they've given you this season. Absolutely, get out there, do it for the fans, let's get that last final 3 points. Your Cadizzy side can book a spot in the Champions League competition proper with a win here. Are you confident of seeing it through and getting the required result? I think we can get the result, but it depends on everything else. So I'm just going to say, if it happens today, then so be it. But it's not something we spent a lot of time thinking about in the build-up to the game. This could be the last time we see Luis Hernandez, Jose Marie and Lucas Perez in a Cadizzy shirt. Do you have any special plans to give them an appropriate send-off? I fully hope so. Yes, they deserve that sort of recognition. So Luis Hernandez is another place, 34. He has been a first-team regular for me this year, but he is 34 and his contract's up at the end of the year, so I haven't decided yet if I'm re-offering him another contract. So he's in the balance. We know Lucas Perez is off on a free at the end of his contract. So that's already done, so it's definitely his last game as well. He's not starting, but I will try and get him off the bench as well for that sort of little goodbye to our fans as well. Can you explain why Izza is set to play in a different position? Well, he's not. Whenever he's played all year, he's played at right back, so I don't really understand what you're asking me from that question. So let's get the game going. Last day of the season, off we go. The first opportunity of the game is a set piece, which is headed away by Elche, but it's fallen back to our players. And Izza, with a little chip over the top, Moukoko chest with his poor touch of his chest, and it runs away from him, and Elche are able to clear. But again, it's landed with our centre-backs, and we're going to look to build from the back. And Luis Hernandez, who has picked up an early yellow card, which is quite worrying. I certainly wouldn't want to see him get sent off on what could potentially be his last game for the club. But Conceição nicely moves inside with the ball, and Mokoko's there, and Moukoko again. Safe as ours is, really. There's kind of, as much as I've seen from the lad, there is no doubt when he gets in that position now that he is going to find the back of the net. It's almost, although we've only had him for the second half of the season, it is almost going to be a really bitter blow if we can't keep him here next year. I'm really hoping we can, but I just don't see it. I think he's shown, if he's doing it in La Liga, he can do it in the Bundesliga, and I think Borussia Dortmund will want him there next year. But that's really positive. I mean, like I said, Elche, they don't concede a lot of goals. Teams have been struggling to break them down, but it only took us, 6 or 7 minutes. Moukoko again with a potential chance, bit of a half chance. He's gone very wide, cut the angle off for himself, and it would have been a tough job to score from there. Did well to get it on target, but an easy catch for the keeper. Izza now. And as we build in the centre of the park, centre of midfield, Espino's cut in from his left back position, and Luis Hernandez into Izza, back to Chust, and just nicely keeping the ball around, trying to draw Elche out of their defensive positions so that we can hit them on the counter. And there's Fernandez, and Moukoko's going to use his pace. He's going to get there, and the defender's done well to get back and make a block. It looked like it was going to be 2-0. There's a real injection of pace from Moukoko, and that's one thing I've really noticed with him when he's been playing for us this season, is that his pace really stands out. He really does outrun opposition defenders. There's a good goal there from Elche as I was talking. I can't really knock that. Maybe we could have got out to the player a bit quicker. But yeah, it's a tidy finish. I think it's just outside the box, into the bottom corner. Yeah, Mascarell's just got away from his marker. And yeah, it's a tidy finish from just outside. It's a bit disappointing to concede with their first shot of the entire game, but we certainly seem to be the dominant side, so hopefully it's not going to be too long before we get our noses back in front. Izza now on the right to Asensao, and Asensao is cutting in. He comes into the box, has a little shot of his own, which goes just over the bar. No need for the keeper to make a save that time. Down that right again, and it's another throw for Izza to Alex Fernandez, back to Izza, but Izza's lost the ball, and now Elche are going to look to counter-attack. Bigas getting down the left wing. He's got support from his fullback, but he's gone all the way back, and he's made a really big miss. Moukoko. Oh no! I can't believe he's missed an open goal. I was saying before, it is typical. I was saying before that when he gets in those positions, it's pretty much a given that he's going to score, and then he misses an open goal. You gotta love FM. Yeah, that was a real bad mistake from the winger there, trying to go back all the way back to his keeper. Moukoko's just intercepted the ball, did the bit of getting it past the keeper, and then I don't know why he went for so much power. He just should have just slotted it nicely along the floor into the back of the net, and yeah, it was a really odd decision. But I suppose that's where age can still come in, and maturity. He's still only 18. He's still learning his trade. But yeah, disappointing not to be 2-1 in front. You can see the lads have got every faith in him, though. Whenever we get the ball, you can see they're looking for Moukoko's runs. They're looking very much sort of playing a bit like the Erling Haaland at Man City. They're looking for that front man. They're looking for that tight man. And Moukoko's in again. And it's a tidy finish, a really nice finish from the youngster. Yeah, he's a tight angle, but he's literally pinpoint accuracy into that bottom corner. Comes off the inside of the post and hits the back of the net, and it is 2-1. But yeah, as I was saying, like I said, whenever we get the ball here, you can see the lads are just looking for those runs from Moukoko, very much like the Haaland way at Man City. It'll be interesting to see if he becomes as good as Haaland on this game, in this save, where he goes. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a personal goal to get him back here at some point in this in my career, whether that be later on in a transfer, whether it be another loan deal, but he's certainly become a favourite with me and with the Cadizzy fans in the second half of this season. I'm just going to tell the lads, I think we're doing well, but we can definitely find another gear to take charge of the match, and we're going to just tell the defenders as well, keep going, you've got the ability, just keep them focused on hopefully keeping Elche out. Like I said, Elche don't score a lot of goals, and the fact they've only had 3 shots in this whole game, and we seem to be on top for virtually all of it. If we was to get another one, if we score the first goal this half, I'd say it's game over. So yeah, it's comfortable defending. Asensao out to Conceição now. Conceição into Jose Marie. Jose Marie brings the ball forward, but he's given that away as he looks for a pass into the Elche half. And Elche look like they're going to catch us, and they have. Yeah, Lucas Boy. He was the man, for anyone that's been following the series, when we played Elche before, we identified Lucas Boy as the danger man, and today he has proven to be that. It is 2-2. It is, he's just outpaced the defender. That's and again, really, that's why we're looking at Lucas Hernandez, and do we want to be renewing that contract of a 34-year-old centre back? And that's one of those reasons, is that just the lack of pace and agility at that age to deal with fast strikers is quite clear for all to see. So we are going to give a run out to, like I said, we are going to get Momo on for Lucas Hernandez. I don't want to see him get. Hopefully he'll get a standing ovation from the fans as he goes off. If this turns out to be his last game, and I do want to give Lucas Perez a run out. But like I said, I'm going to bring him on for Conceição. I don't want to bring Makoko off. I want to see if he can bag that hat trick today. So Lucas is on for his final bow for Cadizzy. And there's sort of 16 minutes to go now for either team to try and find a winner. And it's Espino who's got the assist for both goals so far. Puts it forward to a camp. And Alex Fernandez should have scored. Yeah, the commentary's absolutely like, that was an absolute sitter. We're going to go to a more attacking mentality. I do want to try and win this game on the last day of the season. Yeah, so hopefully it doesn't look like we're going to, though. We're into injury time. It looks like it's going to be settling for a bit of a disappointing draw. Yes, it's been an entertaining doubt for the fans who've seen 4 goals, but it's disappointing not to finish on a win. Yeah, I am going to say it's there. I am disappointed. We should have won the match based on the chances we created. Now, if Betis and Atletico Madrid lost, I am going to be absolutely gutted, because we will have missed a huge opportunity if they've both lost. Hopefully they didn't, and it won't have mattered. The referee was busy today with your side receiving an abundance of cards. Does this aggressive approach concern you? We impose ourselves on the opposition, and I have no concerns about that. Alfonso Espino picked up another yellow card today, taking his tally to 17 yellow cards for my left back. Wow. Yeah, I don't really want to discuss that. How did you rate the clash as a final match? Yeah, it's... I want to wait and take everything into perspective before commenting. So, yeah, Atletico Madrid didn't lose, so we have nothing to worry about it. We wouldn't have gone. We would have jumped to 5th above Betis if we'd have won, but it is a 6th place finish, which is, to be fair, before kickoff, where I expected us to be. We're going to give Makoko a little arm round and a little G up for his brace again. But yeah, I'm going to send the assistant to the post-match so we can get onto the table. So there it is. 6th place finished this season, 66 points, highest finish ever for Cadizzy. Europa League football next season, and I believe yes, that'll be straight into the group stage, so no qualifications, no qualification games for us or anything. We'll go straight into the group. And looking at the teams around us as well, I mean, we had a good record, only 8 defeats all season, and when you look generally at the teams that beat us, Barcelona twice, Real Madrid, Betis, Villarreal, Atletico Madrid, mostly it was the teams that finished above us. Couple of odd results against Getafe and Girona, but in general, we were only really beaten by the teams that are above us. Only Barcelona and Real Madrid scored more goals than us this season, so that, again, real positive. In front of goal, we were superb. Would have liked to have done a little bit better defensively, but we certainly weren't the worst in the league by any stretch of the imagination, and a plus 20 goal difference is decent. So that's where it's finished, guys. It's 6, or finished the first season anyway. It's a 6th place. We'll be back in the next episode, and that's going to be reviewing a season. I've got a goal of the season competition coming up for you, so we're going to have a goal of the season special in the next one. So we're going to review some of our best goals that we scored, and hopefully in the comments you guys are going to tell me who gets your votes for goal of the season. So look out for that. But for now, that's us done for season 1. We'll come back at the end, see who won our awards, see if we won any records or anything like that. And like I said, we'll have a goal of the season comp as well. But for today, again, thanks for watching, And yeah, if you want to subscribe to this channel, then down in the description, the first line is a little subscribe link. Just click that. It will take you straight to my page, and you can subscribe from there. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate the support, and I will see you soon.